What's going on, everyone? LeBron James can officially extend his contract with the Los Angeles Lakers, and there's many questions on will he do that, right? He qualifies for a 2-year, $97 million contract extension. Personally, I don't think he was ever going to sign the extension. I think he's likely going to do what he did with the Cleveland Cavaliers and do 1+1 deals because he's going to want that flexibility as well as the opportunity to leave if he wants to. I'm not worried about LeBron leaving the Lakers anytime soon, just on the fact that, like, where is he going to go? All the teams that can sign him, he's not going to want to play for. And the teams that can't sign him, how many are going to get hard capped as well as trade assets to acquire at that point, 39-year-old LeBron James? Now, as great as LeBron is, I don't know how many teams are going to want to trade a bunch of stuff to sign LeBron James and end up, having him for a year, maybe 2 at most, and then he's going to bolt and go to play with his son or maybe retire as a Cav, things along those lines. Now, when it comes to today, the August 4th extension date, many people seem to be confused just based on live streams that I've done, my comment section on various videos. Today isn't a hard date. It's not like today is the day that is a deadline. And if LeBron doesn't sign today, then that's it. We're in trouble. The Lakers, there's no contract extension. LeBron's leaving, this, that, and the other. No, today is just the first day in which LeBron James becomes contract eligible. So I just wanted to make that clear for those that don't have that understanding or are kind of wondering what is going on with the August 4th date. Does that mean if LeBron doesn't sign today, that's it? No, I mean, he can sign the extension at any point he wants. It's just today's the first official day in which he becomes eligible for that. That being said, LeBron James has recently had a report come out in regards to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, many questions and concerns are LeBron going back to Cleveland, right? Going for his third stint. He's talked highly of Cleveland and their young talent, and there's concern that maybe LeBron leaves the Lakers and goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean, he did it with Miami. Now, is he going to do that to the Lakers and go back to Cleveland? Well, a report came out per The Atlantic that says that the Cavaliers are not interested in reuniting with LeBron James at this point for a third stint. Now, I could see that happening several years from now, like when LeBron's ready to retire. Maybe he signs a 1-year deal just to kind of, retire a Cleveland Cavalier. Something like that, yes, I could see happening. But Cleveland, it makes no sense to go and sign LeBron James to any deal. And it makes no sense for them to trade for LeBron James because that's the only way that they'd really be able to sign him. They would have to give up some assets to go and trade for LeBron. And it's you have a great young core that's fun, exciting, is likely a playoff team in the Eastern Conference, and is only going to get better and improve. Would you really want to add LeBron to that team, who he's not very good at playing with young guys? He's likely going to want to go there and blow that team up and go get some other stars. And now you're basically hoping that, I don't think LeBron makes Cleveland a contender right now. And you're likely going to have to blow up that team to appease LeBron again. It makes no sense if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers. At this point, Cleveland is in their best interest to say, hey, we love LeBron, but we don't need him on our team right now. If in 3 to 5 years or whatever, just based on LeBron's history as of late, if he decides to, hey, I'm going to retire, then that makes sense, right? You sign him to a veteran minimum deal or something like that. He retires, life is good. He gets to, ride off into the sunset post NBA career. Now, the only way I see LeBron James leaving the Los Angeles Lakers is 2 options. Either A, like I said, he goes to Cleveland on, a veteran minimum or something just to retire, or he goes and plays with his son, Bronny. He has been very open, very public about how his desire to play with his son once his son is in the league. So that is at least 2 years from this season before that actually happens. So the Lakers, at worst case, probably have LeBron James for the next 2 years. And depending on where LeBron is as far as the player level and the type of decline, which we really haven't seen much as of late. But he's only getting older, and in 2 years, he'd be 40 years old. So where is he once he starts getting into his 40s? Now, if he's still at a high level and the Lakers, let's say they go get Kyrie, and whether it's this season or the offseason, and they win a championship, and LeBron believes that he can win another championship, then maybe he stays with the Lakers longer than that. Maybe they get him for 3 to 4 years. And then as he starting to decline, he's like, all right, I want to play one last year in the league. I'm going to go sign with my son's team, whatever team that is. He plays with them for a year just to say he did it. It's kind of a fun season. It's an awesome memory. It's history in the making. And then he ends up, retiring, probably goes and signs with the Cavs and retires as a Cleveland Cavalier. That's most likely how I think this plays out for LeBron. I'm not worried about LeBron James leaving, even if he doesn't sign an extension. Because like I said, where is he going to go? Like, what team is looking at LeBron James and going, we could trade for him, not blow up our team, and still be a contender? Because he's not going to take a $6 million a year contract. It's just, he's not going to do it. Like, he's big on his legacy. He's big on the perception of his legacy. And you just don't do that, especially if he's still a top 5 to top 10 player, which even if he starts to decline, he's still probably a top 10 player as long as he doesn't, like fall off a cliff or something like that skill set wise. So it makes no sense for him to go and take a $6 million or like a veteran minimum deal or something like that just to leave the Lakers. You're better off taking, a $10 million pay cut. So instead of you making like $45 million a year or $47 million a year, whatever it is, you're better off just, take $30 million and let the Lakers go get some pieces to help win you a championship the next 2 years. Like, that's most likely what will happen. I do expect the Lakers to try to make some move this season to kind of appease LeBron. But even then, it makes no sense for LeBron to sign that extension, because unless he's just determined to like, I want the max and nothing else, which I don't know even then, even if he does, the Lakers will give him the max if he wants it. So why not wait and see what develops? Because like, let's say the Lakers don't get Kyrie now. They go and do the Miles Turner and Buddy Hield deal, right? They go and trade for that. And they're a really good team. Let's say they even, make a deep playoff run or they win the championship. And the following season, Kyrie Irving's like, hey, I still want to sign with you guys. Maybe at that point, LeBron says, I will do the James Harden route, right? Re-sign Miles Turner, sign Kyrie. Kyrie's probably not getting a max regardless from anybody. So it's like, sign Kyrie to a deal, and then whatever's left, I'll take. And LeBron would probably be able to still make $25 million a year because the Lakers will have $80 to $100 million in cap space next season. So it's like, why not? So if you're LeBron, you want the flexibility because you don't know what's going to happen. And the only thing that is left for LeBron James after this season is to try to stack as many championship reigns as possible, because most likely LeBron is going to pass Kareem for the all-time scoring list. So he's going to be the all-time leader in points scored in history. He's already the playoff leader, and all that's left is to try to go get those 6 championships. Maybe if you can, try to get 7. And as he gets later in his career, he's still so intelligent and such a great passer and playmaker. He'll probably be able to play till he's 45 plus. He's really improved on his shot, and that is huge and beneficial for longevity. And so even if he's not that dominant force, say 3 years from now, if he can just be a guy that can play like the Magic Johnson role, and you pay him like 20 to 25 million a year, he's, you're basically your point guard. I think it could still work, and the Lakers could probably still win several championships. But it all boils down to like, what the circumstances and the dominoes that fall and this, that, and the other. But ultimately with LeBron James, he is contract extension eligible officially today. I just don't think he's going to sign that extension. I mean, we'll see. I'm not saying it's completely out of the question. I know he's kind of using that as like his leverage to try to get the Lakers to sign Kyrie Irving. But I think the Lakers feel the same way I do and are like, he wasn't going to sign that regardless. He's not going to ruin the flexibility. LeBron's too smart. He knows how this works. And he probably wasn't going to sign that extension regardless. So he's better off just not signing it, being a free agent, and then just doing 1+1s until he decides to leave the Lakers. That is probably what's going to happen. That's my guess. But as always, I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. Do you agree with this? Do you disagree with this? How do you feel about it? Do you think, LeBron, he ain't signing the extension. he's just going to do 1+1s, and he'll kind of, he wants that flexibility to see what happens, what develops. Because if you're LeBron, who knows what's going to happen this upcoming offseason? Not this offseason, but the one after this upcoming season. Who knows? Maybe Kyrie wants to come. Miles Turner, even if you don't trade for Miles Turner is a free agent. What if he says, hey, I want to come? So, what if you trade for Kyrie this year and you win a championship, and then Miles Turner's like, hey, I'll come play with you guys for, $25 million a year. And now you can pay LeBron. LeBron could be like, okay, pay him $25 million. They probably extend Kyrie if they get him. And you go, hey, pay me, whatever, 25 or 30 million a year, and we're good. There's ways to make it work. And LeBron's smart enough to know, I need to be patient. I need to see what develops. I want that flexibility for the team and the future of this franchise so I can compete and win some championships. That's kind of how I think about this. But anyway, again, however you feel about it, I love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below. That being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.